Now, analysts say inflation likely peaked in December as the demand during the holidays and damage caused by typhoons may have pushed food prices higher. A BusinessWorld poll of 11 analysts yielded a median estimate of 8.3% for December inflation. Now, this falls within the Bangko Central's forecast of 7.8% to 8.6%. And if realized, this would bring full-year inflation for 2022 to 5.8%, which matches the BSP's average forecast. December inflation would also be the quickest since the 9.1% print recorded back in November of 2008 at the height of the global financial crisis. Economists and analysts said higher prices of agricultural products may have been a primary driver of faster inflation last month. Inflation data for December will be released on Thursday, January 5th. It's a brand new year or day for the Philippine economy, and it's time to get the wheels turning. Here to help us understand the outlook, we have with us Mike Ricafort, Chief Economist of RCBC. Happy New Year, Sir Mike, and thank you for the buena mano on this show this morning.
Hi, Danny, and to your viewers. Happy New Year and good morning to everyone.
Sir, let's kick off with the boogeyman, which is inflation. So we haven't gotten the figures for December, but the estimate is well around 8.3%. Yours a bit more optimistic, so to speak, with 8%. Several are saying this is the peak. What are you telling us to our viewers here? How is the first quarter going to fare compared to at least the last quarter of last year?
Well, Danny, because first, inflation is year on year. So we're already approaching the anniversary of the Russia-Ukraine war. When the war started, oil was around $92 per barrel for the NYMEX. Now it's doing around 80. It's still lower. We started the year in 2022 at $75. So it practically erased all the increase. At the early part of the war, March 7, it reached a high of $130. And the last time we saw the elevated oil price was $123 in the middle of July. So it's still way lower. It's practically, that's almost $50 lower. So, that's very much pronounced already in developed countries. We already saw inflation in the U.S. already easing to near one-year lows.
Okay.
And in other developed countries as well. But so that's already one. Quantitatively, the higher base effects would lead to slower year-on-year inflation starting the first quarter. And of course, we already crossed the new year and we're done and over with the holiday season. Even for many, many years and decades, during the holiday season, there's always that seasonal increase in demand and in prices. Now we have crossed the year, so that's another factor. That's why it's a very good premise to presume that the peak may have been seen already or about to be seen, because the leeway is somewhere up until the early part of February, prior to the war. That's the leeway for the peak, technically. But because of the demand and supply balance, so more likely we could have seen it already during the holiday season that ended in December. And the peak is around 8% levels. Because, well, of course, it's kind of unfortunate that we had this shear line that caused floodings in some parts of the southern Philippines, especially some parts of the Visayas and Mindanao that may have hit and cause agricultural damage on some agricultural areas, regions and provinces that have that contribute to agriculture. But prospectively, we're now moving towards the summer season. There will be less weather disruptions in terms of storms and floodings. So that would already help alleviate thus the planting season as we cross the year. So that would definitely help increase the supply, give it a few weeks, a few months, the planting season, and then the supply would follow.
What is a normal level of inflation for the Philippines, given the type of growth that we saw last year and the type of growth that we will be seeing next year, for you to say na, it's normal? Is 8% normal? Is 6% normal? If bumaba ba siya, is that a good sign?
When we run through the figures, Danny, so what's really considered normal? Of course, it's within the inflation target of it should be below 4%. So
Okay,
the ranges
malayo pa.
being 2 to 4%. But when we're running through the figures, that's already possible towards the fourth quarter of this year, 2020.
Okay.